So this week's lesson, we're going to get started on working with multiple pages. If I click on pages, this is the active area right down here. This is if I hit print, this would print. Double click on that. That features this page right here. We're actually going to go up into this master page area and we're going to click on master or a master. Left page, right page. Okay? So again, we're going to do the same thing we did last week in terms of let's go left page and let's go up to layout, create guides, and I want to make a modular grid once again. This time I'm going to go, let's say 4 by 4 and preview, and you can see what this is looking like. This is set to the margin because you can see how these quadrants here are equal, and I think I don't need that many, so I'm going to go down to 3 by 3. That should be sufficient. Okay, so when I do this, I'm going to go check it out. Margins is what I need. Preview set up. I'll hit OK to this. Now, if you look at the entire spread, left, right pages are uniform. So at this point, anything that's created up here will be down here. Remember, this is the 0.125 IN bleed. And again, that's the right page. If I come up here and I click on shift click, I select both of these, I can drag them down here. And so now I've got pages 2 and 3. And what I want to show you guys that's kind of cool this week, I think I touched on it last week, but this is some new information. I want to create some grids that I can utilize and get some sort of a rhythm going. Because what we're doing this week is we're going to create multiple documents within this particular file. And we're going to do the elements and principles of design. So I'm going to create on the left page a type box. And I think I'm going to maybe move this down. I think I'd like to turn it on its side and then move it into position. Okay, I can make it larger if I like. Oops, I rotated by mistake. Control Z. See, if you go and you hover over this, you get this particular icon. You can rotate here. If you hit the shift key while you're doing it, you click, hit your shift key, and then you can rotate it on 45 degrees. Okay, one more thing. When you're typing on its side like this, it's called a broadside type treatment. So right here, I'm going to type in color. But actually, I'm not going to type it. Well, yeah, I can leave it there like this. I can set this up so that when I get down to my active area, when I drag this down, or actually, if I click on the left page right here, whatever I'm doing up here is currently happening live right here. And this is the template up here, and when we drag them down here, we can just change up the type to suit our needs, and we can change the imagery if we want. And so with that, I'm going to go and make this you can choose your own type. Personally, I like to go with a sans serif these days. I'm pretty fond of Helvetica New, and I'm going to go with not light italic, but light. And then I'll make the font type size bigger. And I want it to be up in the corner. And so over here with the type tool chosen, I'm going to go right align. And then with my pen, or not my pen, but my black direct selection tool, I can check it out. That's sufficient for me. Okay. I'll make this type box a little bit smaller so it doesn't get in the way when I'm trying to do other work around here. And then I'm going to go with my photo box, and using the grid, I'm going to create this. And remember, you hit Alt, Control, and Shift, and you can drag copies. Save yourself some time in production. Production speed is a commodity that everyone wants. black arrow selecting across all three. That's a marquee selection. Click and hold it. Control, Option, Shift, drag this down. Okay, one thing I think I touched on with some of you, but not everyone last week, is this right here actually. If you want to change a photo box to a graphic, meaning just a box that you can change color without worrying about photographic imagery, or if you just want to change it into a type box, you would go to Layout, Object, and then come down to Content, and you can change this box down here to color, or to the definition of color, or Command Z or Control Z if you're on the PC. I can come up here and I can drag a small type box here, and then that's going to allow me for the definition of color. So I'm just going to drop some placeholder text right now so that we can get an idea of what that might look like. And then I want you to go and drop in examples of the list that I'm going to provide. Okay? And so if you look down here on page 2, it's the exact duplication of what's happening up here. The thing is that if I want to change this in this area, I can't do that. Only way you can do that, see, this is the purpose of InDesign. They want to make sure that your typography and your page layout is not going to be shifting around to look unprofessional. So in order to override that, I'm going to hit Control and Shift and click, and it allows me to override so I can change this to whatever it needs to be. Perhaps this is going to be line. And don't forget, W to preview. The last thing I'm going to show you is how to page number. So here, I'm going to come down to the bottom and I'm going to click and drag a type box. And then I'm going to hit the key command, Control, Alt, Shift, N. And I will zoom in, and that is Control, Spacebar. And select this and center align it. Change the typeface. And you can align it to the center of your type box. Remember, if you guys don't have these up, I've got to find out what the story is with this. But the quick key is Control B. And down here you have the align option. You can go down to bottom, or center, or top. Okay? Alright, so once I've got this, if that's what I'm looking for, I go and look down on page 2, and you can see that the page is updated. Page 1 doesn't have anything. So if I go up to Master Page A again, and I zoom away, I can click on this, Control, Alt, Shift, drag this until it snaps to the center. Same thing with this. Make it snap to the center. That way the positioning is perfect and in alignment. And now you'll know that page 1 is numbered 1, page 3 is numbered 3. And that's it for today.